Good evening, everyone. Would you please rise and join us for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Here.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Here.
Councilman Dooley?
Here.
Councilman Marcoccia?
Here.
Supervisor Calavita?
Here, good evening, everyone. We have a public hearing to consider the adoption of a local law, the street and sidewalk excavation law within the town of Eastchester, amending local law 11-2002, 13-2005, 2-2013, and 1-2017. And we introduced this at our last meeting, or perhaps the meeting before, and we're basically doing a curb-to-curb requirement for paving for utility companies. If the road's been paved within the last 4 years, we're changing the fee schedule to be on 3 different tiers of work. So the fees will be based on A, B, or C schedule of work. And also, we're adding that if the plants are open within 60 days of a job being completed, they have to finish the job, meaning put the final top coat on, fix the sprinkler head, fix the curbstone or whatever was damaged or affected during the course of work by Con Ed or Verizon or Viola Water, et cetera. So I'll make a motion, open a public hearing. Ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll and open public hearing.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcoccia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Anyone here to comment on it? Yes, sir.
Can we make it fixed right, so they don't continue to come back every 2 years, like on Fisher Avenue or on 22 down there, where there's constantly a gas leak every time the pressure comes up?
All right.
And they gotta rip it up again and again?
Well, inasmuch as the public can't hear you because you're in your seat, the point was just, I'll reiterate, the point was, can we make them do it right? And unfortunately, that is a recurring problem with Con Ed. The pavement on Lakeshore Drive, for example, has been elevated about 6 inches because they've done the street over 3 times. And the comment was also about Fisher Ave, which is under a perpetual state of construction by where it meets Hillside and the mobile station right over there on the corner. And it's an ongoing problem. But unfortunately, they contract out a lot of their work. They contract out to different people. And, it's just a problem. It's a recurring problem with Con Ed. And we're on notice that this year they're going to start that pipeline project again, which went away for 3 or 4 years. Now it's going to come back again. And so we're working with Con Ed to make sure that all the problems we encountered the last time they screwed the job up, they avoid this time. So unfortunately, you can't make them do a better job. You hope that they would because it's all taxpayer dollars that are paying for this, Also, naturally, they have an application in for a rate increase, as does Viola Water. So, everyone's looking for more money, but no one's, fixing the problem. So anyway, at least in this regard, it's compelling them to finish the job and to, to pave curb to curb when necessary. Anyway, any further comment? There being none, I'll make a motion to close the public hearing. Ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll on closing public hearing.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcoccia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Okay, any further comment from the board members?
I would just ask if there were any correspondence or emails received with regard to the agenda item, and
Not in the
no.
town clerk's office.
Not my office either.
Someone care to make a motion?
Happy to move it.
All right.
I'll second it.
Thank you. Please call the roll on adoption of the local law as indicated.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcoccia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Okay, next we have opportunity to address the board on a specific agenda item. All right, there being no one, we'll move forward to approval of the minutes of the March 21st, 2023 Town Board meeting and approval of the minutes of the special joint meeting with the Eastchester Union Free School District Board of Trustees and the Town Board. Any proposed modifications or amendments?
No.
No, there being none, someone can make a motion to approve same as submitted.
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcoccia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next are reports of departments, boards, and commissions. Police Department report. while the chief is making his way down, we can receive and file the March monthly report on V&T violations, parking summonses, the detective report, and of course, our statement of accounts. Chief?
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, members of the town board. Over the past couple weeks, the supervisor and I had attended several of the neighborhood association meetings in town. We had a very positive dialogue. We passed along some very useful information on how to protect your personal property, and we reiterated the effects of bail reform discovery and the age legislation changes and how they've affected law enforcement and the community, where everybody's, we've kind of seen an increase in stolen cars, whatnot, and we again reiterate, please everybody, lock your car, take your keys inside. In March, we had 3 department members complete juvenile officer school. 2 weeks ago, I was fortunate enough to be able to attend the Eastchester Middle School Career Day, where I spoke with the 8th grade class about a career in law enforcement. We went over everything, topics from policing to the FBI, and I want to thank the staff at the middle school. It was a great opportunity to interact with the youth. Our members also participated in the Easter extravaganza, which was another great hit, and we had some great community engagement there. As the warmer weather is upon us, we'd like to remind the residents, and particularly parents, the laws regarding electric scooters and bicycles. We did this last year when we saw a drastic reduction in the number of youth riding around on the scooters. Electric scooters and bicycles are not to be operated by anybody under the age of 16. Anybody over the age of 16 who is operating one must have a helmet on, and they must stay off the sidewalk. They can only be operated in the roadway. Lastly, the Michael Frey Pasta Night is going to be this Saturday, the 22nd at 7 p.m. at the Greek Church on Mill Road in New Rochelle. It's a great event. All the funds go to the Michael Frey Scholarship Fund, which the PBA gives to local youth going to college. And lastly, put it on the calendar, our department memorial and award service will be on May 13th at 11 a.m. at Town Hall. I have nothing else to report.
Thank you, Chief. You saved my breath on a few items from my own report, but if, I'm pretty sure that the pasta night is sold out. But if you're inclined to make a donation or you want to contribute something, you can call 961-3464, which is the non-emergency line at the police department, and leave a message for Officer Yanni, who's the chair, I guess, now. So, it's always okay to write a check or, do a Venmo or a Zelle transfer to help the cause out. And it's a very well-attended event. It's a lot of fun. So thank you very much. Okay, moving forward with the Highway Department report, Mr. Latella. 2.3 inches of snow this winter, huh? Not bad. I think that's a record.
We did do pretty good. Good evening, Supervisor Calavita, members of the town board. I would like to report our annual tree planting program has begun. We ask residents interested in new plantings on the town right-of-way to please forward an email to the department or notify us at the office. We'll stop by and evaluate if there is a spot for a planting. Our regular scheduled green waste pickup is started on April 5th. Our pickups are every Wednesday except for a holiday week. We ask residents to please check your sanitation and recycling schedules for those pickups during those holiday weeks. A reminder that these items must be placed curbside before 7 a.m. on the day of the pickup, but no earlier than the night before. Our crews continue cleanups and wood mulching of right-of-ways and parking lot areas. This work improves the curb appeal of all these areas. Another reminder for our residents, our compost is available, located at the dead end of Farella Way. It's a natural organic material that provides nutrients for any type of plantings and gardens. I have nothing further to report.
Anything, Mr. Latella? No, thank you very much, Ron. Okay, we have the receiver of taxes report for the month of March. We can receive and file same. And then we have also our correspondence agenda, and we have a memorandum from the controller on budget revisions, and we have a couple here, just some minor ones. I'll make a motion. Ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcoccia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have a memorandum from the controller on some part-time seasonal employees, and these are a couple of people in the highway department and one in police. And someone care to make a motion on these?
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Aye.
Councilman Dooley?
Aye.
Councilman Marcoccia?
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita?
Aye. Next, we have a memorandum from the Superintendent of Highways regarding the proclamation of Arbor Day, and we are a Tree City, USA town. We have been for decades, and there's a declaration to make Friday, April 28th, 2023, as Arbor Day in the town of Eastchester. And there's also a Treachers event. Judy Blau and her Treachers will be appearing on the 28th down at Highland Avenue during the late morning, early afternoon. And that's always a nice time because the scouts are out, they're cleaning up, they're planting trees, and the trees get transferred all around the town, and gives the kids an idea of, you know, the whole concept of nurturing and growth and all. It's a great program. And we, of course, are here and planting as many trees as we can. If you want a tree for your property, please give us a call, and we can get you a maple, a Yoshino cherry, or maybe a birch, or whatever the case might be. And, you know, you can take care of it yourself, and it certainly adds to the value of any neighborhood. So please consider doing that. And I always kid around by saying you can't order a tree for your neighbor's property. It's got to be on your property. And, of course, the town right-of-way, most importantly. Anyway, with that being said, would someone care to make a motion to declare ourselves the members of the Tree City USA and for the declaration of Friday, April 28th, 2023, as Arbor Day within the town?
So moved.
Second.
Thank you. Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Dooley.
Aye.
Councilman Markocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita.
Aye. Next is a memo from the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation regarding the approval of transportation services contract between the town of Eastchester and Westchester County Senior Programs and Services for the period of 1/1/23 to 12/31/23. And this is for us to accept the amount of $7,247 and us also to support the project in the amount of $5,036. And this is for travel expenses for trips for seniors to and from the Nutrition Center at Lake Isle, and also for medical appointments. We bring them to the doctor and back from the doctor. Someone care to make a motion?
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Dooley.
Aye.
Councilman Markocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita.
Aye. Next is a memorandum from the Superintendent of Parks and Recreation regarding a request to go to bid for the bus services for the 2023 camp season. And the kids get shuttled around constantly. Every day we're using buses. So I would make the motion to go out to bid for the summer 2023 buses for the Recreation Department Summer Camp Program, and ask for a second, please.
Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Dooley.
Aye.
Councilman Markocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita.
Aye. Next, we have a memorandum for the Lake Isle General Manager regarding addendum to the existing agreement with the town of Eastchester and Brightview Golf Maintenance. And Brightview does the golf course maintenance for the town. And during our capital budget, we authorized the expenditure of $97,000 for improvements on the golf course. So we're going to ask Brightview to perform those services. So Mr. Papadimitriou has created an addendum to the agreement, and what we're doing, in essence, is path renovation for the second hole access area, path renovation for the 11th hole, edge repair for the 2nd, 10th, and 11th holes, extension for the 10th, also cleaning out that pond on the 8th hole. You know, it's a big pond there, it's got a bunch of skunk weed in there. They're going to clean that out and enlarge it, and it should be, you know, far more, I guess, appealing to the eye, but also makes it more, for a little more fun at the golf hole. All of that area, all of that work is $97,402. So, someone care to make a motion to include the addendum in the maintenance agreement with Brightview as paid for by the capital budget that we've approved previously?
So moved. Second.
Please call the roll.
Councilwoman Nicholson.
Aye.
Councilwoman Marcotte.
Aye.
Councilman Dooley.
Aye.
Councilman Markocha.
Aye.
Supervisor Calavita.
Aye. There being no miscellaneous business, we have council member reports. Councilman Markocha.
Thank you, Supervisor. I have an announcement here. It's an event, it's Get Charged Up. It's sponsored by the Bronxville Green Committee, the Tuckahoe Sustainable Committee, and the Eastchester Environmental Committee. It's Bronxville, Eastchester, and Tuckahoe EV charging event. It's going to be at the Eastchester Public Library parking lot Saturday, April 29th, from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. There'll be car dealers, charging companies, unique EVs, electricians, incentives. Learn more about electric vehicles, show off your electric vehicle, take a test ride in a Tesla. Check out the county's new Mustang Mach-E police car, or jump on the B-Line electric bus. Free coffee and treats will be provided. So please try and attend that. And also have a report here on Lake Isle. Golf opened on Wednesday, March 29th. We already had some very warm days, so golfers have taken full advantage of the early golfing this season. Membership registration has begun, and everyone is encouraged to register early to avoid long lines later on. Both the pool season and the outdoor tennis season begin next month, so register now and get ready to enjoy your summer at Lake Isle. The membership office hours are 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. on weekdays and 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. on weekends. The early registration discount for resident, family, individual, and junior pool memberships are available through the end of this month, Sunday, April 30th. The next advisory meeting is scheduled for Wednesday, May 3rd, 7 p.m. in the Community Center at Lake Isle. And finally, along with the ongoing yearly capital improvements on the golf course, Lake Isle is very excited about the master plan irrigation renovation project that is moving forward as the budget for this capital request was approved. Stay tuned for more updates. I know that the entire golfing community there is very excited about that project, and we look forward to getting it done as quickly as possible. And that concludes my report.
Thank you. Mr. Dooley?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Supervisor. I was up at Lake Isle this past weekend, looking around the golf course, and they've already started out like gangbusters, so it's been a great start to the season. Everybody's pretty excited about the golf course, the renovations that are scheduled, and plus all the work that's been taking place over the past few years. The team up there does a great job, so looking forward to that. And I'd encourage people to join. Dave, the pro there, has some great outings. There's a men's league, there's a women's league. It's just it's turning into a real community up there of golfers, and it's just it's growing, and it's a great place to be. So I'd encourage people again to join. And that's all I have. Thank you, Mr. Supervisor.
Councilwoman Nicholson?
Thank you, Mr. Supervisor. Good evening, everyone. This week at the library, as always, there's a lot going on. We have tomorrow, Wednesday, we have musical TV moments with Richard Knox. It's a Zoom presentation at 2, and registration is required. And then we have Nitwit with Marissa tomorrow at 4, and Reading Shakespeare at 6:30. And then you can celebrate Earth Day on Thursday, the musical adventures at the library at 2 p.m. And we will read We Are the Water Protectors by Carol Lindstrom. And in addition to Thursday, we have Crochet with Faith at 3:45, and that also is a Zoom, and Pee Wee Poetry Club. Friday is Film Day, and they're having a film, Women Talking. So you could look for more information online at the eastchesterlibrary.org, or if you have any questions, you can call 914-793-5055. Also, 2 announcements. We have upcoming in May, the Eastchester Care Coalition is celebrating the 6th annual vigil on Thursday, May 11th, and that will be held here in front of the Eastchester Town Hall. So we look forward to seeing people there and coming out to get awareness and make connections with people and find help for those that need help. We also have Relay for Life in May on Saturday, May 13th. That's held at Lake Isle, and they stand for to remember, fight back, and celebrate for those with cancer. So come out and be part of the community with these wonderful events. Thank you. That's all I have.
Councilwoman Marcotte?
Thank you, Supervisor Calavita. Just 2 announcements. The Parks and Recreation Department is still looking for and hiring camp counselors for the summer 2023 camp season. So if your son or daughter or somebody you know is age 16 or older and looking for a job, you can reach out to the Recreation Department, you can go online, or you can call the Recreation Department and speak to them. And then lastly, I just wanted to announce that at the library on April 30th, the Historical Society is going to be doing a presentation, and it's entitled A Historical Look Along Corridor or Route 22 Through the Many Years. And it's going to be given by Lissa Halen, who is the Eastchester Historical Society curator, of course, our town historian, Dick Foliano, and myself. The three of us will be tag teaming on different historical properties along the White Plains Road, which, as many of you know, is a very historical road, and many historical landmarks and spaces and places we will be talking about and discussing. So if you're interested, and I hope you are, I know the last event was literally packed. It was standing room only. So this is a registration required, so you can reach out to the library. You can reserve your seat online, or you could give them a call at 793-5055. And that concludes my report, Supervisor.
Thank you. For my own report, a couple things. First, Little League, TYA, all the ball fields are all in full swing, including, of course, lacrosse and soccer and whatnot. But I'm noticing there's a lot of garbage being left behind on the fields. If you go into a game and you want to watch your child or your grandchild, put your Gatorade bottle in the recycling center. Pick up your garbage. At Cooper Field, there's broken glass all by the benches. It's a terrible mess. So if you go there, police up your stuff. There's plenty of garbage cans all over the place. And if you see somebody leaving a pile of garbage, say something. Have them pick it up. Because, we can't have our parks guys going around picking up garbage all day long. They have way more important things to do, like cutting the grass, lining the fields, making sure everything is safe for the kids to play at. But please make an effort to utilize the garbage cans and the recycling cans that are on the field. Secondly, the tax office will be open on Monday, the 1st of May, from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. So if you're like me and you run and pay your taxes at the last minute, you have that Monday from 8 a.m. to 7 p.m. because the last day to pay your taxes on a weekend, so it advances by law to the next business day, which is Monday, May 1st. So please take advantage of that. Also be reminded that you have to get a United States Postal Service mark, an envelope mark, on your mail before that date, otherwise it will be deemed late. And there's no discretion on the penalty. It's law. We can't do anything about it. And if you're using a Pitney Bowes machine or a machine at work, it doesn't count. It's got to be United States Postal Service stamp. Also, TYA opening happened last weekend. A lot of fun. They actually did some nice improvements down on the field, and they made a gateway to the field from the Highway Department parking lot, and it was made up by a bunch of bricks by people from the TYA family, an extended family that bought all the bricks, and it looks beautiful. They did a great job, and they put a a metal Labriola Field round post over the top of the doorway, and it came out great, and I thank Steve Giordano and everyone in that league for doing an excellent job. And it was a lot of fun, of course. The kids had a blast playing down there. Lastly, John Waters Eaton passed away. He was the town clerk from assistant town clerk in 72 and 73, and then the town clerk from 73 to 1985, if I'm not mistaken. And our condolences go out to Terry, his wife, and his family, and I would recommend that we close our meeting with a moment of silence in Mr. Eaton's memory. He did serve with distinction. He did a great job, and he was a very nice man on top of it all. I met him on many, many an occasion. Anyway, with that being said, that concludes my report, and that brings us to the second opportunity to address the board. Yes, sir. Mr. Strobridge? Yeah, just give us your name and address for the record. We know who you are, but...
Good evening, Mr. Supervisor, town board members. Howie Strawbridge, lifelong resident, Tuckahoe Avenue. I just have a really, I'm curious to know, do we have a quality of life ordinance in town for leaf blowers?
No, we don't. People have approached us over the years about like a leaf blower ordinance, a specific leaf blower ordinance, but we do not, unless there's one that's ancient that I don't know about, but we do not.
I would like you to consider adopting one for at least on Sundays, especially for landscapers. it's become quite a nuisance for those of us who are at home trying to relax and have some quiet time, but that's about it.
All right, well, we'll consider that. You know, Sundays is a problem. And you know, what happens is sometimes when it rains a few days during the week, the landscapers get behind and they're trying to catch up. But Sunday should be a day where we don't, you know,
I
don't deal with
completely
that.
agree and understand, but I think when you have landscapers that use 2 or 3 blowers at a time, it actually rattles the windows in your homes. I'm not talking about old windows, new homes with good windows. It rattles your brain. Thank you.
We'll take it up. Thank you, Glenn. I'm sorry, Howie. Mr. Laurie.
Good evening.
Evening.
I'm not here to apologize. I'm here to say thank you. If anyone's going to get mad at me, probably Rocco is, because the fire department took 2 of his men, and we're making them firemen, and we're keeping them in town, though, Rock. They'll be in town. And I want to thank you. We did the same thing to Tuckahoe also, so we only thought it'd be fair to do it to Eastchester also.
Well, there's a history, you know. It's 2 this cycle. It's been more in the past. But, you know, they're good guys and gals, and, you know, they were good for us, and I'm sure they'll be good for you.
Thank you.
And I think you guys pay a little more than we do, so it's,
Okay.
I don't blame them.
And also, I'm sure that the town board's got their invitation for our Memorial Day Parade.
Yes.
And for our services on the 18th of May inside the auditorium of Eastchester High School. Okay, thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you. Mr. Levy.
Good evening, Supervisor and Town Board.
evening.
David Levy, 220 Hillside Place, up at Tuckahoe. Well, first, last time I looked, the flag at the library was torn to shreds. And I know we have a flag ordinance in town, and that is one of our governmental agencies. Can we get a new flag put up there?
Sure, sure.
All right. Now, Mr. Strawbridge mentioned something about leaf blowers. I have a problem with these guys almost all the time. They blow, I'm coming down the road on my motorcycle, and these guys, the noise of the leaf blower, or the head units, they don't hear you, and they're blowing this stuff right out into the road. I thought they were supposed to blow it into a pile, wrap it up in the top, and take it away. You don't know how many times I've gotten blasted by these guys with their leaf blowers, and they don't even look up. You know, and it cause an accident. And, you know, it's a little ridiculous. They don't care. They don't speak English, and they don't care. Also, I thought we had an ordinance in this town that on Saturdays and Sundays, commercial people couldn't do work. A homeowner could do work on his own house, but you weren't allowed to have a commercial contractor work on the weekends.
No, I think it's anyone can't do work on the weekends.
Oh, all right. Well, I would think that you would let a homeowner who works 5 days a week get caught up on his
Well, you know,
house.
a guy that's just, you know, gonna, you know, whatever, paint his house is on, no, not a big deal, but if it's on a regular basis, like, you know, new
yeah.
construction, yeah, you can't do it on the weekends. And holidays included for that matter.
Right, well, so, but what Mr. Strawbridge is saying is, these guys are working 6, 7 days a week. I can understand what you say, if they get rained out a few days, they want to catch up. But you look, the same guys are at the same house on Sunday every week. That's how they work. They do this house one day, and it's commercial. And, you know, like
Let's
Mr.
not-
Strawbridge says.
Our ordinance, that leaf blowing is not in the no construction on weekends and holidays ordinance. That's more for construction work, pouring concrete, nail guns, you know, all kinds of stuff.
Well, maybe we could amend things.
But what I would do is, I'm going to speak to Mike Iorio. Mike is the president of the Westchester Landscapers Association, and 90% of what he does is deal with landscapers and leaf blowers. And there's all kinds of regulations coming out about sound, emissions, all that kind of stuff. But notwithstanding that, we have an excellent relationship with Mr. Iorio, and he's constantly talking to his people and working things out for us.
Well, like Luigi said, we're gonna be talking about electric cars and well, first of all, it doesn't work because all the electricity comes from coal, oil, or nuke, and Cuomo got rid of nuke plants, so now we're relying on coal or oil to produce the electric to charge the batteries. But maybe these guys should have to use on Saturday and Sunday electric or battery-operated leaf blower. That way, it wouldn't make noise and it wouldn't rattle the windows. And all right, so about this Green New Deal cause, stop. It's a crock. It doesn't work. This country's not ready. You can't cram down everybody's throat electric cars, electric cars. We need coal and oil and nuke to produce electricity for our homes. Look, California, everybody's got to get an electric car by 2035. But by the way, we're having brownouts, so don't charge your car this week. These people are nuts. You got to go to work. You need juice for your car. You know, you drive to a gas station, you put gas in your car, 10 minutes, a cup of coffee, you go to work. Can't do that with an electric car. I mean, it's impractical, and it's not the way things are going to happen. They didn't say you got to buy a Model A and you got to put your horse and buggy away. It transitioned easy, and that's what they should do. But they're cramming this down our throats, whether we like it or not. And listen, Con Ed keeps going up and up and up. They charge you, you use $50 worth of electricity, they're charging $150 to deliver it. You use $75 worth of gas, they're charging you $200 to deliver it. So none of these houses around here can charge an electric vehicle just the way it is. If you take your Tesla into your house and you plug it into the way your house is wired, it'll take you 48 hours to charge the car fully. It's not practical, it doesn't work. You have to get Con Ed to upgrade your power, and if they don't want to put that transmitter on that transformer on the pole, right then you're not charging your car, and they hit you up for $1,200 to $1,400 just to upgrade your electric to charge your car. All right, well, enough said about that. I came back and I found this letter, Mr. Supervisor, about, I don't even want to say her name. You say her name too many times, and it's like Beetlejuice. This shoving these housing projects on suburban neighborhoods came from the chair of HUD under Bill Clinton. Do you know who that was? Do you know who wrote this? Andrew Cuomo. Okay? He didn't give a crap about New Yorker. Neither does she. It seems to me the whole reason she does what she does is so people think Cuomo was better than he was. Everything she does makes Cuomo look halfway decent, all right? How come they're not shoving us down the throat of Scarsdale or Hartsdale? They're not going to Hartsdale because it's a Democratic community?
No, this is statewide.
No, it's, yes, on paper it's statewide.
But the transportation hubs.
Right.
Where railroad tracks are.
No, I understand. I read your letter.
And bus station, right.
I read your letter a few
within a
times.
half mile. That's where it's prime for super development.
Well, listen, there's got to be something we can do, all right? Whether it's through the different town boards or the different town and village boards or the people, we got to keep fighting this till we get this up to the Supreme Court. They have no right legally to come and change the zoning ordinance in a township or in a village. Are they going to pay for it? Are they going to give me money for the property value that drops because they force these people down the hill? They took the house next to me. They bought it at auction for $500,000. They sold it to the county for $600,000. The county turned around and sold it to a private guy for $700,000. Everybody made $100,000 up the list. You guys congratulated me because the picture they showed was my house, but it was the house next to me. And it was all Section 8. But not one of the people that got put in that house were from Section 8 in Westchester. They came from New Jersey. They came from Connecticut. They didn't even come from the Bronx. They just push who they want down your throat.
That's the law.
You haven't been around for a bit, but what we've done is we've done a resolution, sent it to the governor's office, Amy Paulin, and Senator Mayer.
I saw that.
We have also encouraged everyone to write to all three of them, email all three of them, and call all three of them. And we have been very, very effective in that regard. We had a meeting here the other night with the Northeast Civic Association. That night, I got CC'd with like 5 letters because people are outraged at this absolutely ridiculous idea. And as I'm hearing it, up in Albany, they don't need to hear pros. They don't want to see the Magna Carta. Just tell them, I hate this idea. It must be removed from the budget. Do it, or I'm going to vote against you next time. That's all you have to say, and they're keeping track of that up there.
Listen, but
so
they
hopefully
don't-
we're effective.
They don't care. Not one of them cares because they're so sure they're going to get reelected. Look at Chucky Schumer. That turtleneck Mitch McConnell didn't put a dime up for the Republican running against Schumer. Schumer won by what, 7.8%? Maybe if we would have had some money for this guy that came from upstate, we could have knocked Schumer out of the box. We would have been a far better state without Schumer here. Right? But I didn't even know there was somebody running against Schumer. I thought Gildebrand was up because Biden came to New York to do something with her. When I went online, said, oh, it's not Gildebrand, it's Schumer. I looked, there was this guy, Joe, somebody.
Joe Pinion.
There wasn't one sign out, there wasn't one fundraiser, there wasn't one piece of literature that came in the mail. And that's Mitch McConnell, turtleneck, married to the Chinese spy. Okay? Why? We could have gotten rid of Schumer. New York would have been a better place if we wouldn't have got rid of Chucky. All right? And they don't care. They think they're untouchable. When we did the Tappan Zee Bridge picket back in 1990, I came up with this great idea. They wanted to get people to sign petitions. They're out in the street getting signed. No, we didn't do that. We got a green petition, and each person signed a separate petition. When we went up to Mario's office, with 175,000 individual green pieces of paper in a box. Then he sort of got a little rattled. But when you have 10 or 20 signatures on a piece of paper, they fill one box easy. And these people, they're college educated and they think they're better than us. They don't know what it is to have to work a day to make their money. Schumer, what's his name? Cuomo. You think those people ever worked a day, 8 to 5, 7 to 4, or 9, whatever? They never had to work a day. They were born into politics, and that's where they stayed. And that's the problem with this country. Now, when I was on the school board in 95, they didn't want to teach the kids home ec, shop, or anything. They have to go to college for 8 years. They go, who's going to teach them to sew a button on the shirt? Who's going to teach them to make a meal? Oh, don't worry, they're going to go to college for 8 years and they'll have domestics. See where that's gone today? College education is basically worthless.
Well, the issue is just, I take it you're against this thing.
Yes.
Send something to Assemblywoman Paulin, Senator Marr, and then to the governor herself, because I understand that there's a hotline up there you can call, and it's, ringing off the hook up there, because people are absolutely livid about this.
I'm constantly trying to annoy Schumer, Chucky. But I know if I call from my cell phone, I never get through. If I go and use somebody else's phone, I get through like that and somebody picks it up. But my number is blocked. Because I just said when he first became chair of the Democratic Party, I said, you're nothing more than a taller Harry Reid. And after that, they blocked me. These people can't take criticism. Yeah, all right, well. I've gone on too long. I'll probably pass my 4 minutes. All right. Thank you.
Thank you.
Be good, everyone, and we'll see you in another 6 months.
Very welcome.
Thank you.
Anyone else? There being none, someone can make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Oh, I'm sorry, excuse me. That's right, thank you, Teresa. We have a moment of silence for John Waters Eaton, please. Before we adjourn, we'll adjourn thereafter. Please join us. All right, thank you very much, everyone. We're adjourned. I think I need to remind you.